one of my top picks. I think this company is completely misunderstood. The original investors who got into Uber thought it was a very different company. Today, the company is about mobility, delivery, and somewhat freight. And I think they're going to have an analyst day coming up February 10th. I think you're going to see this company really show that they can make their earnings, cash flow, and it's a completely different company than most people think it is. So that's the first one. The second one is Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley trades at 14 times earnings. I think it's the premier financial services company. It's a wealth management company with 60% of its now revenue coming from wealth management, and that is increasing close to almost 10% a year. 3% dividend yield, solid balance sheet. They're going to buy back shares. I think this company re-rates from 14 closer to a market multiple. And the last one is parent of your company, Comcast. Comcast, again, trading at 14 times earnings. It's peer Charter trading at 20 times. Comcast is the penalty box. They missed their subscriber additions for the last quarter. But if you look at the sum of the parts, you look at the cash flow of this business, you look at the balance sheet, they can buy back shares. They've got a 2% dividend yield, and they have basically zero to negative value with Peacock. And you look at Universal, this company, I think, is worth a lot more. It's down more than 20% off its peak. So those are the three that I really like going into this year. A great setup for them.
Giving the home team a shout out, obviously trying to get on the halftime report more often. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Financials. Financials is your sector.
And I've been over.
Not a big surprise.
Yes, financial is a sector. No, and I've been in financials for a while. You know that. I think, given now the tailwinds that we have, given the valuation of these companies, and given where we are in the cycle, you get some type of inflation, you get rates rising, you get a curve that's going to be on your side. You're going to have multiple expansion and earnings growth, and I think capital will come to this area, especially as the Fed releases the balance sheet, and changes rates. So I think cheap stocks, cheap sector, unloved, and I think you'll see capital flow towards there.
All right, so JP Morgan and Bank of America today, in terms of financials, named the top 2022 picks at Goldman Sachs. Goldman and Wells, top picks at Credit Suisse. In terms of the other picks that you make, Josh Brown, you're an owner of Uber. It wasn't one of your picks, but what do you think about it being one of Sarat's?
I wanted to ask Sarat, what do you think they could say at the Analyst Day that would materially change people's view of what this is? Because I agree with you. I think going into the pandemic, it was a rideshare company that also had a little bit of delivery. Now delivery is more than half of revenue and might even become more profitable than rideshare by the end of this year. So, what do they have to do to make it clear to the street that this is about logistics and fast delivery, and maybe should be thought about more like Amazon is than a taxi company with an app? What should they say?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I think what they need to really talk about is how they're a technology company that now is cash flow positive, that is growing top line, that they're in their, when you look at their businesses, Josh, they're in their top. They're either first or second in delivery, first or second in mobility, and they've gotten rid of all the other businesses. They had a lot of people saying, oh, you're going to be, in autonomous, you're going to be in all this other stuff that was not making money. And I think when you look at what is this company, what is the strategy of the company, and I think when that is expressed to the street, and you also had last year, when you had tax lot selling, it was a company that everybody, if you lost money on it, get out of your portfolio, window dressing. I think that is something coming out in February that I feel management's been trying to do that. They'll be very articulate about it, and they'll say, hey, we're not just this grow company. We're growing for the sake of making money and cash flow, and look how focused we are on our strategy.
All right, Sarat, good stuff. Appreciate those picks. We'll have more top ideas in our stock summit after the next quick break. Brenda takes the stage next.